ever looked at your life and thought, wow, I thought I would be further ahead by now, whether that's with money, your career, um, assets, love, relationship, friends? Maybe it's even to do with traveling the world. You thought you'd be further ahead by now. You look at your life and you go, wow, thought I'd be further ahead by now. I used to think the same. I used to think exactly the same. And it felt like I was consistently looking for a formula. Just to grab my coffee, guys, a formula to change my life. I mean, I could clearly see outside of me other people living great lives, having great relationships, traveling first class in style, going to beautiful places, having incredible careers. And so I could see that it was possible for them. I could see that it was possible for them. I was so perplexed. I was so goddamn perplexed as to why wasn't I further ahead? Why wasn't I further ahead by now? Why did I have more assets, or why didn't I have more money, or why didn't I have, the career that I wanted? I'd even see people doing these incredible, you know, um, I used to put account managers on a pedestal. Can you believe this? I used to put like people that were account managers on a pedestal. There's nothing wrong with being an account manager, but I'd be like, wow, how are they doing this? How are they standing up and presenting in front of people? How do they know all of this stuff? So whether this is about love, relationship, maybe you felt like that you should be married by now, having 4 kids running around to look after, whatever it is. There's something inside you that has drawn you to this video. And this is just an open and honest video, guys. And there's something that when you look outside of you, you go, wow, I really thought I'd be further ahead by now. So let me guide you with the formula that I've used to change my life, to have a successful multi-figure business, globally successful multi-figure business, to have 6-figure incomes that is something I was never used to having a life of freedom, a freedom. I can't speak today. I've got a cold. I'm so sorry. Having a full life of freedom, free-flowing life of freedom and abundance, more abundance than I could possibly imagine, more love and kindness around me than I can possibly imagine. What was my formula? What was it that I followed? So when I looked outside of people, outside of me, and looking at all these other people, I was never jealous. I was never jealous. I was just like, how are they doing it? And what is it I'm not doing? And at the time I would have like 3 jobs: massaging, teaching exercise classes, working in a contact center just to make ends meet. I was working all the hours under the sun. What is it they were doing? Walking around with their mulberry bags and things like that. What is it that I couldn't work it out. How is it they've got that lovely relationship? How is it that they're married to the right person, their soulmate? All these things. And what I was then able to understand was the formula actually started with me. It started with me, and the formula starts with anybody. The formula starts with anybody, and it was how I was showing up. It was what I was thinking about myself. Now, I've just recorded a really open and honest, really open, transparent, honest, manifest your specific person for good masterclass from the what not to do's and from the what to do's. And I was going through the ways that I was being treated, the way I was allowing myself to be treated. And my God, even like when I only recorded that yesterday, and it's live now to invest in. It's available now to invest in. But it just literally, as I was going through it with the people that joined me live in the masterclass, I literally had 0 self-worth. I had beyond zero. I mean, if there was self-worth, then there was the core of the planet, and then there was more dirt and more crap. Somewhere further down there, I was. And so what I'd realized was that I was the one that had to change. I was the one that had to change. If I wanted this life that I wanted the first class travel, you guys. I wanted a life where I could feel free. Sometimes I was even too scared to think of my dreams because I thought I would just be so disappointed because I wouldn't be able to have my dreams. But we can all have our dreams. So I started with me, and it was a process. I started with understanding what was going on with me. I started to do healing. I started self-love practices. I started to, I had coaches, I had a psychologist, I had a variety of different people guiding me and helping me. And I wasn't consistent in this at all, which is why it took me a while. But what I understood was, the simple thing is if I changed the way that I felt about myself, and I changed the way that I saw, my dreams as being possible, if I changed that, just that simple change, things would start to change. So I would get up early in the morning, I would script out affirmations, I would sit in meditations. I learned inner child healing. Over the years, I learned how to forgive, to let go. I learned through healing within to detach. And all of this was a process. It was a process. But what happened was I became stronger, and I became more brave and more courageous. I became more fearless. And no matter what was, being presented to me from out there, I stopped giving up. I stopped giving up on myself. And I had to push through a lot of fear because I hadn't released that negative emotion of fear. And I was full of anxiety most of the time then. And that's where my deep inner healing practices and the neural pathway mapping, reprogramming really, really, was a game changer for me. But I stopped giving up on me. I stopped saying no to me. No matter how scared I was, I just kept saying yes. I kept saying yes. And it didn't mean that everything was working out, but it just meant I was getting stronger. I was failing forwards. Roosevelt has a poem, script, story about the man in the arena. I was the man in the arena. I stepped up, and I would fall down with dust on me, on my face. I would stand up, dust myself down, put my best foot forward, and I would keep going. And so the more I was working on a healing practice, which was the formula for me to then start to feel more confident, more fearless, more brave, more courageous to move forwards. The more I was doing that, the more I was able to get closer to my dreams. And my dreams at the time were, obviously, to have the lovely, nice material things, no brainer. Who doesn't want nice material things? It's lovely to have nice things. Maybe some of you don't. I like nice things. But it was just to be respected, to be valued, to be loved, to be accepted just for me. And that was one of the really big things, because I had so much hatred and so many not very nice people in my life. It was horrible. But the more I kind of saw my worth and my value, which was the formula to get me where I am today, the more I could let go of all of that, because I didn't want that coming with me. The more I released the program of those old beliefs, the more I did the deep inner healing work, the more my eyes were able to see clearly. I can see clearly now. The rain has gone. It's like the rain, the fog, the mist lifted over my eyes the more I was doing my deep inner healing practices. And I could release. Now, we know everyone, as you pushed out, and we know that we attract from a place of what we are, but we all have a choice. We all have a choice of what we want to keep and what we don't want to keep. We all have a choice. My choice, I didn't want to keep that. I didn't want to advise anyone in that. I didn't. I wanted a fresh, clean slate with new people based on my new self-concept. So over the years, I let go of what no longer served me, and I got stronger, and I had healthy boundaries in place. And all this came from me just changing the way I was thinking. And what happened was I attracted love and kindness. I'm able to take my business. I created a 6-figure business. So proud of that, to be able to help you guys. I am a globally successful businesswoman. That's what I tell myself. My life is a free flowing life of freedom and abundance now. Like, I can take my business where I choose. So far this year, I've been to the Maldives. I'm going to be going to Ibiza. I'm going to be taking it to Italy. I'm going to be hopefully taking it to Kenya as well, which I'm super excited about, and maybe more places as well, Greece. So I can take my business where I choose, and I can work where I want. And I've always wanted that freedom, that free flowing life of freedom and abundance. And I've been able to do that. And it takes somebody that sees their worth and sees their value. You can't have that and be somebody in a space of lack mentality about yourself. It doesn't mean that I still don't have the odd wobble. My business coach will tell you that I have the odd wobble. I go, oh, is that going to work? Should I be doing something different? And but the fact is, I don't give up. I keep moving forward. I'm consistent. I go on about the C word so much. It must be drummed in your brains. It was a consistency. So when I look back at the version of me that had no self-worth, and I mean none, it was definitely in the negative. And it was a clear reminder yesterday when I was doing the masterclass to manifest your specific person back for good, just how low it was. Or non-existent it was, shall I say. But all those years ago, when I would look at my life and go, wow, I really honestly thought I'd be further ahead by now. And I would look out at all these other people living these, I'm sure they had their ups and downs, but living their lives how they wanted to live them, with the kids, the marriage, things like that. And that's not what I want. Well, the marriage might be nice one day, but the kids thing is not what I want. But good luck for everybody that does, because we've all got our own dreams and our desires. But I used to look at people then and go, what is it that they know that I don't? And all it was their mental diet, how they saw themselves, how they viewed themselves. They had worth and they had value. They had worth and they had value in themselves to go get what they wanted, to get the life that they wanted, And so when I understood that all I had to do really was change within, that would then elevate me to change without, to change that. So from somebody that was in the contact center, 3 jobs, working all the hours under the sun, to and surrounded by such unkindness, to this globally successful multi-6-figure business owner, working the hours that I want to work, getting to meet so many beautiful clients all over the world, being able to take my business wherever I want. I think I said I was in the Maldives as well earlier with it this year. I mean, it's dream come true stuff for me. Flying first class, being able to just hop on a plane whenever I choose. My new car. But it's not about the material things. Really, for me, it's about the journey to be able to experience this. So now when I think about my life now, rather than thinking, wow, I honestly thought I'd be further afield by now, I go, wow, I can't believe this is my life. I can't believe this is my life. And all it took, the formula, guys, is changing in here. That's it. Change in here, that will change. So if you are ready, if you're somebody that thinks, yeah, I want the kids, I want the marriage, I want the loving relationship, I want a better, successful career, more money, I want to live in a different house, I want to have more, I want to have bigger and more. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. There'll be some people out there that tell you that there is, but there's nothing wrong with that. Then it's time to look at what are you thinking about yourself. So from a conscious perspective, from a conscious belief perspective, those conscious thoughts that you are aware of, take some time, sit down, pen to paper, sorry, cold, pen to paper. What do you think about yourself? What do you think about money? What do you think about your chance of being able to have those dreams? Do you do like what I used to do? You know, think about the dream, but then go, it's not going to be possible for me. I'm not one of those people. I'm one of the unlucky ones. That's what I used to think. I also remember occasionally with my ex-specific person, I would talk to him about my dreams and he would look at me like I was the most delusional person in the world. You know, and so I learned actually to kind of keep my dreams to myself. And it's really important actually. Keep your dreams to yourself. You don't have to share. You don't have to share. Keep them to yourself. But I want you to know that, you know, when you understand what it is that you're thinking about yourself from a conscious perspective, you can flip that story consciously and you can revise that. You know, you can pick programs like my self-love workshop, where I dive into, you know, inner healing work with inner child work, forgiveness practices. I get you to understand what the living in the end means. You understand how to flip these stories, how to accept yourself, because acceptance is really key as well. I had to accept that that was my life then to be able to create this life here. And it wasn't a consistent acceptance because, you know, sometimes you would just be like, oh my God, I just want more now. You know, we're human. That's kind of spiritual beings in a human existence, living a human existence. But, you know, that's kind of how we're a little bit programmed. But that's from a conscious perspective, and you can turn that story around. You can turn that story around. Or if you're ready to go deeper, and this was a game changer for me, really. This was a game changer for me. And you'll see actually my growth on my YouTube channel of how more confident I've become, how you just feel it in my aura, in my energy. You'll feel it. And all of this has started with releasing conscious beliefs to reprogram them in my subconscious mind, and then going deeper. It's like it's the Carl Jung shadow self. What is going on that you've buried so deep that you don't even know is there? What is going on within you? And through my Be Love advanced neural pathway mapping program, which you can get in a variety of different flavors, with the VIP Ultimate Live Experience, which is the group experience with me. You can get it as an intimate, intensive, 1-to-1, 8 weeks with me, or you can have it as a self-study program where you go alone and you do it on your own. There's a variety of different ways you can do this, but it was when I uncovered my root, which is the deepest, most darkest, most negative belief I had about myself, and I was able to flip that story around and then remain persistent in the new empowering belief that I was embedding into my subconscious. I was reprogramming my neural pathways, and that then enabled me to elevate my life even further, and you know, clients were coming to me like you wouldn't believe, left, right, and center. I was being wanted like you wouldn't believe. The love and kindness was flowing so much more effortlessly. I was being included more. The money from my business, the monthly income, the revenue income that I was receiving literally doubled, over doubled. You know, when I released my root, my business had already gone like that, but it suddenly went kind of like that. You see, because it doesn't just focus on one area of your life, it focuses on all areas of your life. It would transform all areas of your life. And in the Be Love group, it's a life transforming skill that I teach you, that you take with you wherever you go. I am teaching you guys this skill so you can do this yourself. And there's a variety of different ways, obviously, you can access that. and you take that skill with you wherever you go. It's absolutely life transforming. I will never need coaching again because I know to go within to get the answers. And you see, as guys, you think that you know what your beliefs are, but these are deep beliefs. These are beliefs that have been cemented in you before you were even born. Maybe when you were in the womb, because maybe it was a past life. Maybe you're here on a contract, you know, whether you want to believe that or not, it's true. Because that's exactly what I see with my clients. It's always either around the birth or before that a belief is cemented within you and it's embedded within you. And that then starts your program. And your job then is to eventually, when you're ready to dive deep into this, to unpick that, to uncover that, to rewire that, for you to then lift that fog that's covering your eyes, to take yourself out of that program so you can live a life of freedom and abundance. And that is your birthright, and that is innately who you are. But you don't realize that because of these deep rooted beliefs that you are carrying around with you like a little suitcase. You can't get away from it. So if you're somebody that goes, well, I know I don't think that way, but yet things are still showing up in the way that you don't want them to. It's going to be to do with the root, your deepest, most darkest, most negative belief that you have about yourself. And it's out of your control. So we can't beat ourselves up about it. Once we know what it is and we can revise that story and we can embed that new story in our subconscious, we can rewire then the neural pathways. And we can create new pathways to align to the new embedded belief, you see. And that's when every area of your life will transform. So if you want to find out more about the Be Love program, whether that's the VIP Ultimate Live Experience in the group format, which actually I've got 7 seats available, and we start again with 3 months on the 29th of May, or you can catch the replays. Or there's the intensive, intimate intensive one-to-one, which I have 2 seats currently available. Other than that, I'll have to create a wait list. Or there's the Be Love self-study, which you can literally purchase off the shelf. It's an advanced self-study program. So there's a variety of different ways. If you do have any questions about this, you can DM me on Insta. My links are below this video. Yeah, so there you go, guys. If you're somebody that thought, wow, I really thought I'd be further along in life by now, then maybe it's time for you to start to find the formula so you can be further along in life now. And like me, you can go, wow, I can't believe this is my life. So that's it from me today, guys. I really hope that's helped. Please feel free to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And as always, guys, I will be back very, very soon.